Hi guys, Mark here with Walter's World. We're in Florence, Italy, as you can tell.
Grazie, signore.
No, scusi, no.
Dai, mangiare,
No,
poverina
scusi.
dei
No,
bambini.
scusi.
Problema
Dove i
senza
bambini anche?
lavoro.
No, scusi.
Grazie.
See the fun part of Florence? Anyway, guys, that's what gets me started talking about today in Florence. That's what gets me started talking about the 5 things you're going to love and hate about coming to Florence, Italy. Now, Florence is a beautiful town. I mean, basically, the birthplace of the Renaissance. The Medici legacy here is just amazing. Whether it's the Duomo, seeing David at the Galleria d'Accademia, whether it's going to the Uffizi to see the birth of Venus, there's so much to see and do. It's a great place. But there are some things you won't like, as you probably just saw. Okay, so let's go into the things you're not going to like. Because this video is about the 5 things you're going to love and hate about visiting Florence, Italy. Okay, the first thing you're going to hate are the tourist hordes. This is a very popular place to go, and I've been here in November and March and June, July, all the time. You have tons of tourists here, and with that it means it's hard to find places to eat, hard to find accommodation, which I'll talk about later. You're fighting in lines, all kinds of stuff, and it really gets a little bit much. So basically the first thing you're going to hate is yourself, okay? The second thing you're going to hate about coming to Florence is finding accommodation. Guys, you really need to book ahead when you come to Florence, because the cheaper options, stuff like that, they're really hard to come by. If you're doing 2-3 weeks in advance, it will be more difficult, so you could blow your budget on that, okay? So, the third thing you're going to hate about coming to Florence are the lines. Yes, there are the tourist hordes, but then there's the lines with the tourist hordes, waiting an hour or so to get into the cathedral, waiting 3 or 4 hours to get into the Uffizi, or the gallery to see Accademia, to see David. It does really suck staying in line, because you'll waste days waiting in line here. So what you want to do is make sure you reserve your tickets beforehand. If you can call and try to get it so you can get in at least a few hours earlier, maybe not going to get to walk right in, but it will cut down on some of the waiting time. Okay, so that's the third thing you're going to hate, is the lines for the museums, especially the Uffizi. Well, especially the line for David and the cathedral at Uffizi. It's just crazy. Okay. The fourth thing you're not going to like about coming to Florence is, guys, there's a lot of tourists here, so you have a lot of pickpockets, you have a lot of beggars, you have a lot of the gypsies coming by begging for money, people picking you pockets, taking your stuff. You got to watch out when you're here, because that's a really big problem when you're here. Like, I'm checking my wallets now as I walk through everywhere, so that is kind of a problem here in Florence. Okay, and the fifth thing you're going to hate about coming here, which is kind of a funny thing, is you can see the dome up there. You can actually walk up to see the top of that. And what you're going to hate is walking up there. If you go up the top of that and the top of the bell tower, you're going to be walking over 800 steps up and down. So your legs are going to hurt a lot, but the views are worth it. Okay, so let's review the 5 things you're going to hate about coming to Florence. 1, the tourist hordes. 2, the expensive or hard to get accommodation. Number 3, the lines to see David and go to the Uffizi. Number 4, the pickpockets and beggars and all these kind of things around the tourist sites. And number 5, walking up all the steps to get to the top of those things. So those are the things you're not going to like. But what are the things you're going to love about coming to Florence? Things you're going to love about coming to Florence. The first thing you love about coming to Florence is your first time you see the Duomo. Now I'm filming this on the back side, not the front side, so I'll put in some pictures of the front side for you. But guys, the first time you see it, you literally are in awe. Whether it's the baptistry, seeing the doors on there, or the facade on the front side of the cathedral, or the bell tower. I mean, it's just amazing. That first time when you come through, it's just, you're in awe for us. That's the first thing you're going to love about it. The second thing you're going to love about it is basically the Renaissance. This is Medici's legacy here. All the amazing palazzos. I mean, literally, you walk down the streets, you feel like you're in a museum. You're eating your ice cream, you don't want to drip it because you're like, I don't want to ruin something here. It is awesome with the statues all over the place. It's just great to wander around and see this Renaissance palace of a city, okay? And then Medici's legacy that's here, okay? The third thing you're going to love about coming here is seeing David. Honestly, the most perfect statue, the most perfect sculpture ever made, one piece of marble. You'll go and see this, and you've seen it on TV, and you've seen it in the postcards, but when you go there, you literally go, wow, you can actually see the veins in his hands. It is spectacular. Literally, you will see perfection in that. So that's the third thing you're going to love, going to see David. Fourth thing you're going to love about that is the abundance of museums and palaces and stuff like that, because you may say, oh, I don't want to wait in line all day, or these are the only things to see. No, there's tons of palaces and tons of extra museums to see, and they're just amazing, okay? And the fifth thing you're going to love about coming here is, if you do make it all the way to the top there, the views from the top are outstanding. And if you can't make it to the top, then the views of looking at the Ponte Vecchio, the old bridge on the river, is also to die for. Okay, so the 5 things you're going to love about coming to Florence: 1 is seeing the Duomo for the first time. 2, the Renaissance, just birth of Renaissance town and everything that's around here, the Medici's legacy with these palaces and buildings and all the beautiful artwork. That's number 2. Number 3 is going to see David. Number 4 is the abundance of museums, not just the Uffizi and the Gallery d'Accademia, but the other museums that are here. It's chock full of the palaces, all these kind of things, tons of stuff to see. So you can literally spend a week here just seeing museums. And number 5, seeing a view of the town, whether from up on the top or on the river. So, if you want to learn more about traveling to Italy, see more stuff in Florence, top 10 Florence, things like that, check us out at our website, www.waltersworld.com. Bye.